Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Unfiltered Truth. Something I want to go over is um, the truth about many issues in the supplement industry that kind of contradict nutrition information. And happy Friday. Always, always happy Friday. Um, a common trend that happened for a while still happens. People who like they'll go into supplement stores, and they'll be looking for whatever it is they're trying to get their goals, which in this case is related to, trying to get the right amount of protein. You get powders that have, 30 or higher grams of protein than they should. Um, that's nothing more than amino spiking. That's not legitimate. You want to be careful of that. But it's the same thing, with being sold expensive testosterone increasing supplements that really don't do any damn good. Don't fall for free testosterone. Do not fall for free testosterone being played as your body is just underutilizing so much of it and you're going to dramatically increase it by using the free testosterone. That's a gimmick. That's not going to do the trick. You'll get more benefit out of maca root and yohimbine than you will out of, something like Nugenics. Don't spend a ton on stuff like that because it doesn't work. There are some that help out quite well, but the vast majority of them really don't. And nutrition is key to getting right hormones, but let's take a slight pivot to my favorite ones that I can't stand, the whole keto champion. First of all, sugar is not the devil. Whoever told you sugar was the enemy and all sources of sugar are inflammatory, they're bad, don't go sugar, well, the alternate source isn't go fat. Your body's preferred energy source is sugar. It was designed that way. That's not some hiccup. Somebody didn't bull in China shop when the body was being formed and break it and it was supposed to go fat first. No, sugar is there for a reason. You want to tell me all sugar is bad? Well, then I guess you can't have fruits because any sugar in fruit is poison, even though it came from the earth. Can't have vegetables. Honey is bad, so the bees are obviously being, Satan's little demons, if you catch the nuance of how absurd that is. Sugar is not the problem. Now, there are bad sugars, of course. Sugar not being a problem doesn't mean go get a bowl of it and just down it. Use some wisdom. There's bad apples of everything. There's bad forms of sugar. Sucralose is not a good one. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not a good one. Stevia is better. There are alternatives, and sugar can definitely be addicting to people who can't control themselves. But that doesn't mean that itself is the problem. You should never touch it because itself is bad. It's not. You need to have nuance with that. So that doesn't mean drop sugar and go to fat. The body's not meant to rely solely on fat for energy. It doesn't cause it can cause problems with the intestines, for one thing. I mean, you need carbohydrates. They exist for a reason. Can the body adapt? Yes. Can you make the intestines work without carbs? Yes. Making them work and them working as they're designed are two very different things. You can put the wrong fuel in your car. It may still work. You could still drive it. Doesn't mean that's what you should be doing, and you're going to break something at some point. The body's the same way. It has a strong ability to adapt. That doesn't mean you utilize the adaptation as the new way to live. Going keto and relying solely on fat, the body can do that. That's what it will do when it's in survival mode. That doesn't mean use it for that. The food and supplement industry ran with that heavily. Sugar is the new devil. Fat is the solution. No, it's not. And, getting the placebo of thriving on keto and then you go back on carbs and all of a sudden it's all hell breaks loose. I knew I shouldn't have gone on carbs. No. You went off it to begin with. Of course it's going to behave like that when the system used to digest that broke down. And they've made a lot of money with that. It's the same thing as if you've, been on alcohol or drugs for too long and you go through withdrawal because you stop using it and your body feels like crap. I should have stayed on them. No, you shouldn't. And then you take it again and you wreck something. That's not the indication that, whichever way you're trying to make win, that's what it boils down to. You're trying to be right. Don't try to be right. Just follow the process that works. Healthy carbohydrates, healthy sugars. Don't fall for the gimmicks. They've made a lot of money on that. The first thing you should be doing whenever you buy food, unless it's a product like a fruit or a vegetable that you pick up which shouldn't have a nutrition label, it's an apple that came from a tree. Unless someone's doing something sneaky and bad and putting stuff in the apple they shouldn't be from the tree, it's not going to have a nutrition label on it, not on the actual apple itself. If you're buying stuff that isn't like that, look at the label. Always, 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 always look at the label. Never assume that it's good for you. Don't ever assume that. Ingredients to be wary of: natural and artificial flavors. Not a huge flag, but be wary of them. Um, Sucralose, your body doesn't actually break that down. So when you see artificial sweeteners and you're thinking, well, I can have sugar without having sugar, your body can't use that. So it doesn't mean you're essentially getting to zing your tongue with no other effect and it's just cool, yay. No, your body's going to go through a little bit of inflammation because it can't break that down. So you're not really trading what you think you are, but it's not the worst. There are worse things to go with than that. Be careful with the sugar alcohols. You're trying very heavily to find alternatives to sugar because you think sugar is the problem. Sugar alcohols can cause problems in the gut. And trying to overload on protein. I don't remember where this was. I saw this snack of some kind that, claims to have like a 60 or so grams in whatever serving. I don't remember what it was. I have a short memory. So who or what, it doesn't really matter. Point being, though, if you're trying to muscle down protein, the solution isn't protein, 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 protein. You don't get a dump truck full of it, open your mouth and force it down and go, yay, protein. No, you're going to wreck your gut. You're going to wreck your gut. And while I'm at it, do not put your children on mass gainers. That stuff is sludge. It's really bad for the body. I used to take it when I was younger. It's not a good thing to take. It's very difficult and very harsh. And it messes with you. Know what you're consuming. No sugars. If you look at it and you see that it says no added sugars, don't fall for it. Usually what they're doing is they're putting in artificial sweeteners or the other ingredients that they'll use, things like maltodextrin, for example, stuff to kind of make it congeal or hold together. That still counts as a sugar. So they're treating it like a couple extra added sugars, but like a little dabble on the side. Not really. It's not really. But I'm also a blunt realist. I'm not for technically this is nothing, but really it's something else. Like it either is or isn't. That's like saying an apple is technically something different than it really is. It is what it is. An apple is a fruit. It's not technically a vegetable. It's not probably in a weird kind of way a fork. It's a fruit. Something is what it is, not it can possibly be something else. No, it can't. That's not how that works. Pay attention to what you're consuming, but don't fall for, all these trends. Be very wary of trends. Some can be good. It's not to say that they are all bad, but know what you're doing. And if you go into a supplement store, I highly recommend doing your own research, but also knowing someone who's a good holistic-based nutrition coach. That's just my recommendation. If you find a really good doctor, if you find a really good nutritionist, a really good registered dietitian, there are those out there who exist, a really good nurse, whoever, awesome. Run the product by them. I have people in my circle do that with me. Run the product by me. I will tell you if that's what you need. I will tell you if it will do you any good, and I will tell you to put that damn thing back on the shelf. I'm here to save you money or help you invest properly. Not other people are there to do that. If you go into those stores, they're there to sell. I'm not saying they're not trying to help. They may genuinely think that they're going the right path, but my job is to make sure my circle, my people get the right info. Be wary of what you see. Always go with the ingredients and do not follow these trends. Don't do keto. Keto is not the savior. Sugar is not the enemy. The body was designed the proper way, and eating properly and being educated is the way to do that. And make sure you get educated. Learn. Grow. Seek out information. Don't rely on TikTok. Don't rely on YouTube. Go meet the right kind of people. You can find them. It means I've been connected with someone on social media. It's a tool to guide you down the right path, but don't go with, if I saw this video, it's got to be true. A lot of marketing and videos are made to look like they're getting the results from that, and most of the case, that's not actually true. Especially the ones I see where people consume a plethora of different kind of mushrooms and their body is just becoming the brand new them. No. A fair amount of those mushrooms will cause unpleasant issues with your stomach and your intestines. So don't go with, well, if I saw this person, sitting on the beach sipping this coffee and they're just having the time of their life and this changed their life, take it with a grain of salt. If you want to test it out, go for it. Make sure you get someone in your neck of the woods who is qualified to help you go through that. That way you don't, step on your toes or essentially in a way fall down the stairs. But don't take things at face value like that. Vet them. Be wary of them. Professionals in industries are not turned off by someone who's wary. They actually respect that. I respect people who come to me who ask questions and they're not trusting. They think that most stuff around them is a lie. Good. That is the good way to approach that, because I will tell you what I know to be true, and I'll tell you where it came from and what information I have. I'm not going to go, if you don't just trust what I say, you're the problem. No, don't trust what everybody says. Vet it to the best way that you can. Do not trust industries unless they prove otherwise, because a lot of them, they boil up a cauldron of problems and then hand it to you and then act like you chose that. Well, you kind of did crappy advertising that didn't tell the full truth, but that's the pink elephant in the room that nobody wants to point out. If this information has helped you, feel free to let me know. Like, share, subscribe. Please spread my videos so I can reach and help other people. I'm always happy to help and guide people on the right path. And if you've got other topics that you want me to do the unfiltered truth on, please let me know. I'd be happy to. Have a good weekend.